Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Crusaders of the Lost Idols weekly live stream. I'm your host, Erika, the live services manager for Crusaders, and I'm joined by Kat. Kat, tell the people about yourself.
Good morning. I'm Kat. I'm the lead artist for Crusaders of the Lost Idols. So I do all of the current in-game art, and I do sketches on stream, and sometimes also inking to turn into coloring sheets for y'all to have fun with.
Yeah, so today we'll be going over the pumpkins submitted for 2021.
Yeah. This first one, and well, I think almost everybody who submitted did 5 pumpkins, so that was cool. This first batch is from Azaria, and this has a fun custom tongue that they drew themselves, which is just it's good. It's great. Sorry. And this one has a nice glow inside, and also the sort of duller orange makes the yellows pop.
It almost looks like a candle flame in the mouth, too.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. And the third one, this very sad, very dimly lit pumpkin that I like a lot.
Yeah.
So thank you, Azaria. Jari Zappa. Yeah, Jari Zappa did 5. So got my own pumpkin. I like the purple stem. I don't know, it just stands out to me. And of course the gradient is real good. And their second one is the Squiggles Pumpkin. You know, he's got to come in there somehow. I like that they added a nose as well.
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't do any noses. I honestly totally forgot about these sheets, so this is like a fun surprise for me as well. And the Sadkin, I love the Sadkin, and he's all lumpy.
Mm-hmm.
And the Inner Darkness. I think this is one of my favorites. I just love the way it squishes out, and like it emphasizes the shape of the mouth, and I don't know, it just looks really good.
Yeah.
And the last one from Jari Zappa, this nice blue boy. So thank you very much. Mishchunja? Yeah. They did this nice, let's see, probably pencil crayon. Lots of layering.
Yeah, kind of pencil crayony.
Like, there might be, like, it could be mixed media, honestly. There might be like some watercolor, or yeah, there's definitely some amount, because that's a more watercolor sort of stain.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite impressive, honestly. It's a lot of layering and different colors, and this modeled background is super pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really great. And I think they called this no, it wasn't this person, or somebody else, but yeah, some people title their pumpkins and some people don't, and I was trying to keep them straight, but I only had so much time. Anyway, it looks fantastic. Thank you very much, Miss Chunja. I hope I'm saying that close to correctly. Arhu Agaga coming at us with a good batch of pumpkins. So we got this happy one with little blushy cheeks, and this spooked out one. I really like this messy gradient of green to yellow in the mouth. And oh right, this was Joy, and this is Perplexity, which is fun. And this is Pleasure, which sort of looks like it's sitting on hot coals or something, but I really love this red smoke coming out of the eyes. It looks really good. And Autumn Love for this one. A bunch of hand-painted leaves in the background. Looks really nice. And this kind of like shading or maybe blush on this pink pumpkin.
Yeah.
And their final one is Repetitiveness. And I think we can all recognize what these are. with lots of fun lighting and glows in various places. It's very cool. Thank you, Arhu Agaga. Charizard. I guess just did this one. Anyway, it's nice and fun. I like seeing how some people would like swap things upside down, either for eyes or mouths, and it's always nice seeing
repositioning them.
Yeah, it's fun to see all the options that are available, like including ones I didn't think of. Oh no, they did do a batch. I just didn't number that one. Bad me. I really like the color of this pumpkin. It's like blue with green.
Yeah.
I think this mouth most often gets used upside down, which is fun. They're just such good faces. He looks like a really angry tomato.
Oh man, carving a tomato, that would be.
Oh, you wouldn't get anywhere. Too squishy.
No, yeah.
So thank you, Charizard. Swaxwans also went back and did one of our other spooky sheets with the Blood Voodoo, Irulan and Corey making some kind of terrible concoction. So that's fun to see again. Thank you. And they also did a nice pumpkin with some fun shine and a bunch of like texture.
Yeah.
And a bloody sign. So thank you, Swaxwans. These ones are kind of special. Silexi's kids did one each, and this was from their 5-year-old. It's so fun. It just looks really happy and like derpy. And they added a little triangle nose because I didn't do any noses. And then Silexi's 7-year-old did this one, which just really reminds me of Jigsaw.
Kinda, yeah.
But it's a fun, crazed, sort of clownish pumpkin. And so those are both actual paper, and like cut them out and pasted them and then colored them. So I hope your kids had fun craft time. And that's really cool to see for me. So thank you very much, Silexi, and to your kids as well, of course. The Real Anubis chick did a batch with a bunch of effects and filters on Krita, or Krita. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but it's another. Pretty sure it's a free digital art program. So I called this one the Cheshire Pumpkin, which is pretty fun because it's just a floating smile.
Yeah.
We've got the Crazy Pumpkin with some really nice colors. Blue and orange just goes really well together. And a glowing pumpkin has almost a stained glass kind of look. That's fun.
Yeah.
The Rosy Pumpkin, which is a really nice sort of blending of very rosy colors. And a Sad Pumpkin. Oh. More nice blues and oranges. And those were all. So thank you, Real Anubis chick. And as always, ending with Zizek's 5 quick sheets to round out those numbers. So thank you everybody for doing pumpkins. They were super fun. I really especially enjoyed them this time. And I hope everybody had fun doing them. So I'm going to be inking Sochiel's sheet here and turn everything over to Erika to answer your questions now.
Yeah, so thank you everyone again for the pumpkin coloring sheets. So we've got some of our regulars in chat. We've got Mitch Ben 24, UGA for the win, Stormcrow 69, 100 Beep, Seoki, Shodan 111, Croc, GSR, Twitch Pal Player. So thank you everyone for stopping by this morning. Quadrilion is asking, did you just end the event an hour earlier? Not intentionally. As far as I know, the in-game timer was still counting down to noon. But Wilson has re-enabled the event for the last hour. But Emo's New Moon does end today. Also today, the Carnival of Sorrows Crusader recipes will be available again from the recipe system, so from completing the recipe missions or buying the various recipe items get those Carnival of Sorrows recipes. 100 Beep, the windy November. Wouldn't rainy be better? Or floody? More just thinking about the windstorm we've been having the past couple of days. Luckily, we didn't lose any power here at the office or my apartment, but some of our Seattle folks did lose some power overnight last night.
Yeah, we can get some real nasty windstorms over here on the island.
And Tanoia Fire saying, considering Vancouver was having tornado warnings, windy is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a text from my mom yesterday. She's like, did you survive the tornado? And I'm like, there wasn't a tornado warning for Victoria. What? What tornado? As Dingo, what's going on with the rune exploit people have been abusing with the B rune rewards? Thank you for mentioning that the exploit still exists. We thought we had it closed on Friday, but apparently not. So Wilson is investigating that again. And yeah, we'll try and get that loophole closed as soon as we can. Dragon Slayer 96. Any update on the new chest opening feature? At this rate, it'll probably be happening sometime next year. And this way you guys can have some time to stockpile silver chests if you want to use them for the new chest opening feature instead of opening them with auto-clickers right now. So, you know, consider it your, hey, if you want to hoard chests, you can hoard chests warning. Voxy RL, when will the next event be? Is it going to be as last year or set back a bit? So the Kane's Dinner of Doom event will be starting next Thursday-ish. Hopefully should be on time next Thursday, but November 18th for the Kane's Dinner of Doom. Get that started ahead of the US Thanksgiving. Email King 91. Erika, some people have already donated to the Desert Bus and have gotten their Crusaders ahead of the specified November 12th date. Is this intended? Yes. So, Desert Bus donations open a week before they start busing, so they have a rough idea of how long they're gonna bus. Like, if oh no, people aren't donating, we're only gonna bus like 3 days. So it's like or at least we know we have to have at least 3 days of programming. I mean, they plan for more, obviously. But yeah, so they open the donations a week before they start busing. And yeah, you can donate already and get your code to redeem in the game for your Crusader. The code should be emailed if you use the donate buttons that are specifically for the Crusaders on the Crusaders page of the Desert Bus website. The code will be emailed to you and you can redeem it in the game. And yeah, the Desert Bus crew starts busing this Friday, and they've been lasting over a week lately. They've been earning enough money, right? I think they did like 9 days last year, maybe 10. So you have until they finish busing to stop or to get your Crusader, and once they've stopped busing, they close the donations. So yeah, it's just usually like a 2 or 3 week window for getting those donations in and being generous to those folks. Croc 360 says, wow, that artwork is already amazing, Kat.
Thank you. This is definitely the kind of thing that's up my alley. So.
Slamming large, hi Erika. For everyone's benefit, could you just briefly talk how the logistics work for the donations for Desert Bus? Yeah, so I think I covered most of it. Donations are open now. You have to be on the Crusader page itself. You need to click one of the 4 designated donation buttons, not the donate button in the top corner, but one of the 4 designated donation buttons on the page. Desert Bus Crusaders don't have recipes, so the level you donate for is the level of gear you get. Although if you do donate for the epic level, the Desert Bus Crusaders do have legendary items that you can create from their epics. If you already own the Desert Bus Crusaders, then you get crafting material for all their duplicate gear. Duplicate Crusaders aren't worth anything, and then of course you get the new Crusader this year, which is Ashton, the Coffee Pong referee. And yeah, you have until they stop busing to make your donation if you want to snag those Crusaders. Hextech, every time I've asked in the past, you've been adamant that runes were a very, very long-term growth mechanic, which is awesome, but how do you plan on countering the massive rune gains some people have gotten from exploiting the dungeon rewards? Well, you still need like 16,000 level 1 runes to get a level 15 rune. So, I mean, yeah, the exploit's kind of annoying, for sure, but it only gets you like not too many level runes, so it still doesn't break the system of the rune mechanic, but we will discuss what else we should do about it. Yeah. GSR, Cat, Micro Phantom isn't that micro. He's bigger than most of the Taskmasters. Can you scale him a little? Huh.
Oh, is he? I can, and I'm pretty sure it's easy to update.
Yeah, or you can look into updating it, or because I know Kevin used to maybe resize the Taskmasters too.
Yeah, we'll do a comparison look at and see if it makes sense to scale him down. Thanks for pointing that out.
Slamming large huge cat. The drawing is extremely high definition version of scary.
Yes. Well, that's generally the plan for the stream sketches. Not to be scary every time, but to be a more detailed version of the cartoony Crusaders. There are exceptions like the Halloween party, because that was all like chibi.
DB McGrew, I keep getting error number 3000 even though I've reloaded the player multiple times. Yeah, that's a weird new Twitch error that's popping up if you're watching Twitch on Chrome. There's some troubleshooting out there on the internet, like using incognito window or clearing your cookies or your cache. Or they're like, download the Twitch desktop app. I'm not sure why they want you to be in the Twitch desktop app. Hello, Sari. But yeah, I know it doesn't happen as much to me when I use Firefox, so oof. Except Chrome is like the main browser these days, right? Like no one uses.
It's the only one I've used for years.
Oh, Twitch, why'd you do that? But yeah, there's some troubleshooting tips on the internet for getting rid of that error code. I know I only see it like once or twice because I'm watching the stream in the incognito mode to make sure it's still running. So the incognito mode hack does work for that. GSR, suggestion, for those of us that don't have money this year to donate to Desert Bus, can you give away a skewered Ashton, like 3 to 4 winners from a Twitch raffle? I'm not sure how that would work because it's technically for charity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll discuss that with marketing, see if it makes sense for next week's stream. Cassius, hi Erika and Kat. Any chance of most idols claimed in a single reset or similar stat getting added to the stats? I don't know. I guess maybe it might be possible to have. We'll keep the suggestion in mind. As Dingo, hey Erika, could we please have the feature to buy more than one event chest at a time? Oh, it's something that's come up before. I don't know if we'll add it because we want the multiple chests to be for money, but then again we did eventually add the ability to purchase multiple jeweled chests for rubies, so you never know, it may still happen. So, Evil Hoodie Ninja saying, hey Erika, legendaries and then later runes were massive updates to the game that shook up a lot of things. Will there be another thing similar to legendaries or runes? Maybe? It's not something we're currently planning, but well, there may still be other systems to get more power like that. The weekend promo is the Animals on Patrol weekend buff with buffs to Torakichi, Artaxis, Robbie the Raccoon, Polly the Parrot, and Bruno with golden robes for Torakichi. You guys did unlock the idol buff code from all the coloring sheet submissions last week, so you have until December 3rd to redeem that idol buff code. You can check it out on the Reddit if you haven't found it. And then Codename is doing Extra Life again this year. So far, it's still looking like we can do the in-person event part of it. But even if we can't, we're still going to be having donations collected for Extra Life as well. So keep your eyes out for the DLC that'll be launching next week, with the first 2 weeks of sales from that DLC going for our profits here at Codename being donated to Extra Life. And then our stream days for Extra Life is from 9 a.m. on Friday, November 19th through to 9 a.m. on Friday, November 20th, all in Pacific times. And speaking of Extra Life, you are doing something, aren't you, Kat?
I am. Thank you, Erika. So I had the plan last year that unfortunately didn't go through, but basically I will be taking live donations, and you can pre-donate if you want. The page is almost set up, and afterwards, after the stream, I'll post it to my Twitter at Skeleven. But basically I will be taking a variety of suggestions to put together terrible monsters, basically. It's inspired by the Dadaist art game The Exquisite Corpse, which, if you don't know, is basically this like little party game kind of that you have a piece of paper that you fold into thirds, and one person does the head, and then they fold it so you can't see, and then the next person does the torso that gets folded, and then the last person does the legs, and then you unfold it and see what happens. And they're usually pretty bonkers. So that kind of idea, but it is one single illustration done by me, but with like limbs and body shape and head shape and teeth and eyes and any kind of thing for monsters, as well as stuff like accessories and clothing and stuff, decided by viewers like you with money. Tiers of donations going from like $5, $25, all the way up to like 100 if you're crazy, or you really want to support the kids. Yeah, and I plan to do at least 2, probably 3 monsters. They each have like 10 slots for donations so that they don't get completely out of control. And if I get 50 donations, I will do 5 monsters. And I hope that all makes sense. If there are any questions, totally let me know. And again, I will be posting all the proper details of that through a link on my Twitter. Pitch done.
Cool. So yeah, check out @Skelevan for your Kat's Extra Life page, and I'm sure the company Extra Life Marketing will go live at some point too before we start streaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's still some things being decided, like specific times and stuff. I will also update whenever I know for sure, because I'll take donations as soon as you want to give them, I guess. But the idea is to have this be a more live participation event, hopefully.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Just push the wrong button.
Oh, okay. Quadrilion saying, no, if that's for charity, it's not a good idea to reward us with Ashton, maybe later as a DLC. So the Desert Bus Crusaders are only available through the donations for charity. They won't ever be a DLC. But we'll just ask the powers that be if it makes sense to actually raffle them off or not. But I'm going to guess the answer will be no, but I just want to run it past them just to see.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask,
yeah.
Basically.
But I can't type right now. Iceberg Cat 1949 is asking, where do I go to donate? What's the URL for Desert Bus? So it's desertbus.org/donate/Crusaders, and I did put it in the questions doc if Martin wants to copy and paste that into chat as well. Hextech, should we be fine using the exploit until it's closed? I mean, I would prefer players didn't, but
it's called an exploit. It's not intended.
But players will be players, so yeah, it's a very unfortunate exploit that we thought we fixed. Slab McLartude, for the eventual upcoming Madam Finkelbottom Tier 5 objectives, are we expected to save them until after dungeons or take dungeon time to do them, especially if the Tier 5 11ths are dropping by the end of the year before dungeons end? With the objectives as prereqs, it's going to be really tough to find the right time to do it. Good problem, I guess. You can do them whenever you want to. They're permanent objectives. It's not like they're events. They don't disappear. If you want to take a break from sprinting the dungeons to death, then you can go ahead and do the objectives that are releasing tomorrow in preparation for the Tier 5 11ths. But yeah, it's up to you how you play your game. As Dingo is next event this Thursday. The Kane's Dinner of Doom Thanksgiving related event is launching next Thursday, so November 18th. It's just a normal objectives update tomorrow. I guess, yeah, the one other piece of news, November 11th is Remembrance Day, and that is a holiday in Canada, or for British Columbia anyway, so the office will be closed, and we'll be back in the office on November 12th. With the office being closed on the 11th, I did cancel the Reddit Q&A, so the Reddit Q&A will be back next Thursday, November 18th. Looks like the second draft of the stream is going with the amazing art keyword. Oh, that's cool.
Aw, thank you. Flattered.
Is a marigold, and now is other flower.
Yeah. When I was designing Xochitl, I looked up flower crowns for Day of the Dead, because I've always really wanted to do a Day of the Dead Crusader, but again, the issues of wanting to be respectful and all that kind of and all those nice things. And one of the biggest problems people have is Day of the Dead being conflated with Halloween, because they're not the same, like even a little bit. So doing a just Day of the Dead Crusader for Halloween always seemed a little bit not a great idea. So since Xochitl is based off of La Llorona, and that's a Latin American folktale going back pretty dang far, I thought it would be appropriate to have at least a little nod, because marigolds are very important flowers for Day of the Dead. And so when I was looking at references, there were some really nice flower crowns that were like definitely majority marigolds of different shades, and then a couple of them had these really nice accent flowers of like, they basically looked a lot like sunflowers but with longer petals and in like deep reds. I don't actually know what flower that would be offhand. If anybody does know, I would love to be taught. And there was one other one that had these really long sort of tube-like white petals, and I included that in either the epic or legendary for her equipment item.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thanks.
Tribal Sage. I'm running just bonus dungeon points to try and level up on the rewards tracks, and it feels like you don't get very many coins if you don't pick the objective with the bonus dungeon coins. Is it possible to increase the amount of dungeon coins you get for runs that don't offer the bonus? We aren't planning any changes on the coin drops or the idol drops from the dungeons for Season 5, so they are as they are. Avli Navi, where can I get your brushes?
Actually, this brush is totally just default Clip Studio Paint. Actually, no, it isn't anymore because they updated.
Oh.
So this was on like the Clip Studio like asset store. Somebody made a pack of brushes that they had, a couple versions ago. And so this is the G pen. And I don't think I have anything super special on it. I just have anti-aliasing just up 1 level on weak. Opacity only 6 stabilization, which I think is probably default. Yeah, so basically look on the asset store. They're free, don't worry. It's a store, but it's basically just a marketplace that people can stick things on. And they used to be default brushes that got like phased out or something, but people saved them. So yeah.
Oh, it's nice that people managed to save the brushes.
Yeah, when my hard drive crashed and I had to get everything back basically when I reinstalled Clip and I couldn't find anything that I used to use, that was not a fun surprise. So very quick research found that okay, they got rid of them in the update because they wanted to like streamline things, I think. But yeah, people saved them, which is always really nice.
Yeah, the amount of cursing and it's like, don't update Adobe products for
Oh,
the
man.
artists.
Yeah.
Or if you do have all the fixes to get it back to how you like it.
Yeah, it took quite a few days to fix all of my Illustrator settings. Including I actually ended up uninstalling and reinstalling the oldest version I possibly could. And that actually helped quite a lot.
Oh boy.
Like, I don't know how all of their updates are always bad, but they are.
They were just trying to be helpful, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure they don't mean to be bad at what they do, but they are.
Mr. Pandino saying, hi there, cheers from Poland ladies.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for stopping by the stream.
Yeah, always cool to hear from people from way aways.
Snowlover TV, the Crusaders for Extra Life are based on the people that are doing the charity streams. I think you meant Desert Bus, but yes, all the Desert Bus Crusaders are based on Desert Bus folks who actually wanted to be turned into a video game character and don't mind having their face out there in the world. I know it was between a couple of volunteers this year, and one of them was like, no, I'd rather stay behind the scenes. So yeah, Ashton Coffee Pong referee, he's on the Dawn Guard shift. They have 4 shifts of drivers for a Desert Bus. They divided the days into 4 6-hour shifts. So Ashton's on the Dawn Guard, and a couple of the other members of the Dawn Guard team have been playing Coffee Pong the past couple of years, and then last year was fully digital, so I'm not sure how they managed to do Coffee Pong, if they did that at all. But yeah, so that's just beer pong with coffee. And apparently James, one of the players, likes his coffee with cream and milk instead of just black, and the other person just likes black. in in the first year they did Coffee Pong, they were drinking each other's coffee. So they're like, oh, I don't like this coffee. Why do you drink coffee like this? Oh, man. That was a fun clip to watch to get reference. And yeah, Ashton's just there, like, did it go in the cup? Did it go in the cup? And he had the spare balls, and he's like, yeah, giving them clean balls if they've bounced on the floor.
Very important.
Yeah. And
is that the same James who also has a Crusader?
Yeah. I did figured out that it was the same James. So James the Seated is one of the Coffee Pong emissaries, also on the Dawn Guard. So yeah. And Graham and Kathleen founded Loading Ready Run, who kicked off Desert Bus, but I think Desert Bus grew a little bit outside their company purview into like a more charity thing, but yeah, so. And then Button Master Ian, who was last year's Crusader and is in charge of the dance button, because they have random dance parties to keep everyone awake. So you push the button and a song plays and you have to just dance.
Yeah, there were many versions of Button that were pretty fun to look at. I remember doing that for the equipment.
Yeah. So, and most of the VODs, actually all of the VODs for all the past Desert Buses are on their Desert Bus YouTube channel, so you can check it out. But they stream it on Twitch and then put the VODs on YouTube. Yeah, I don't think they're dual streaming YouTube and Twitch. So yeah, when they start streaming on Friday, we'll do an in-game announcement so you can check it out and see how it goes. And of course, the Desert Bus Crusader is just based on the fact that they're playing the Desert Bus game. Yeah. Desert Bus Transformer. Mr. Pandino, there might not be a better word for the giveaway than this one. Simply look at this pic. Stunning.
Oh, thanks.
Erika, Kat, La Llorona is amazing. Favorite Crusader so far.
Oh, thanks. Oh, everybody's being so nice to me today. I'm glad. She had a couple bits of her animation that were a little more ambitious, I guess. But it all came together in the end, and that's always really satisfying.
Yeah, no, very cool. And the crying tears in game too.
Yeah, that was definitely part of it, because those are all frame by frame little dots, basically. It's one of those things that, like, I have to do it really zoomed in, and then I zoom out and it's like, well, you can't see it, so now I have to make it bigger.
And it looks like as Dingo was trying to get players to use Frieza Wen as the raffle code, but Martin was on top of that.
Yeah, don't trick people with raffle codes. That's a little mean. I know you're just having fun, but people do want to win these things, and we want things to be fair.
Mr. Pandino, Xochitl reminds me a bit of Night Wraiths and Noon Wraiths from the Witcher universe.
Yeah. You know, I already forget if I did that on purpose or not, but I love the Witcher games. And actually, I think one of my favorite quests from Witcher 2 was the Noon Wraith one. I thought that was super interesting. And a little sad that there weren't really Noon Wraiths in that kind of way in 3, though there was the really good early Night Wraith quest. So definitely an influence, I would say. I forget if it was purposeful or not, but either way, I accept.
I mean, that's what unconscious is. It just pops into work, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I did do a bunch of searching for La Llorona, like reference art and stuff, and apparently there's a movie either just came out or is coming out soon. I think it's in like the Conjuring universe or something. One of those.
That one's already come out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it was any good, but I did sure found a lot of posters for it.
I forget the reviews on that one. I think it might have been middling, but
yeah,
depends on what you're scared of, I guess, and what you were going into expecting with it, right?
Right. Yeah, I think most big horror franchises, when they get beyond like 2 or 3 movies, they just really start to go downhill for some reason.
Right. It's like the 7th sequel for Halloween or something that came out for Halloween this year.
Although sometimes they do sort of bounce back with like a surprise good one or something. Like I think Jamie Lee Curtis came back for one of the really late Halloween sequels.
Well, they did the reboot last year, so Jamie Lee Curtis is in the one that just came out and the one a couple years ago, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like, no, we're going to get rid of all these other ones. And we're going to do the proper sequel this time with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Right.
And then they've done this newest one, and people are like, why?
Because they need to make money.
Cassius saying, Kat, you should mess with Asdingo by making a fridge freezer crusader.
I wouldn't be that mean. Maybe it's a skin.
A skin for Frieza.
Yeah, just turn him into the Kirby 64 fridge power. He just spews out food.
And then Quadrilion says there's an episode of Cowboy Bebop with a deadly freezer, so that would be a neat idea.
Fair enough. I suppose anything can be done.
Yeah.
Stephen King is proof of that.
Cars, dogs,
mist,
cell phones. Yeah.
And then the really stupid ones like Dreamcatcher and the Langoliers. I love them because they're awful. Just in case you missed it, Desert Bus donations are now open and will be open until Desert Bus stops busing. The code should be emailed to the email you use to make the donation if you're donating from the Crusaders page itself, from one of the 4 buttons on the Desert Bus donations page. The Idlebuff code was unlocked from the coloring sheets. You have until December 3rd to plan when you want to use that. Codename is doing Extra Life again this year. Even if we don't stream, we'll still be donating the profits from our DLC and in-game purchase items related to Extra Life, the first 2 weeks of those packs, to the Extra Life campaign itself, but I'm pretty sure that we might be able to get away with streaming this year. Yeah, I think we're ready this time, that even if suddenly we can't do stuff in person, we have a bunch of remote stuff set up as well.
Yeah, we've got lots of remote stuff planned too. So the stream itself will be next Friday, November 19th. The Kane's Dinner of Doom event will be happening next Thursday, November 18th. And then, if you like art or if you like our style of show, we have a bunch of other streams on the channel you may be interested in watching. We've got that's Friday. We've got Sketching Hour, which are Wednesdays, featuring artists doing an adjective, a cute animal, and a D&D monster, turning it into a funky creation within an hour. So that's Wednesday afternoons. And there might be some special fun with that show tomorrow, so you might want to check that out. Fridays, we've got art being turned into pancake art, which is very impressive. Especially like when Lee turns the key art that Ivy does of the Idle Champions characters into pancakes. It's because it's like, whoa, that's a pancake.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought that would be like possible, honestly, with how detailed those are and how many colors. But yeah. Lee is a wizard.
Yeah. So we've got pancakes on Friday mornings. Last week, Paint and Slay was unfortunately canceled, but they are going to be back this week, finishing off that Beholder. If you're interested in how they were altering and painting a Beholder mini, so that is Fridays at noon. And then there's the Bushwhacker stream, which does what we do. Nick and Georgia sketch and talk Bushwhacker 2 and Nick and Georgia things. That is unfortunately canceled this Friday, but it'll be back in 2 weeks. But Dylan keeps our stream schedule up to date on the Twitch, so you can just check the Twitch for all our scheduled streams. And then we will be pushing you to Champions of Psychology, following right on us, where Dr. B and Misha talk about various psychology topics with their host Trevor, and they have sometimes too much fun. I don't know, those crowns and Misha wearing that cloak. It's pretty cool. They are very good at what they do, explaining psychological topics. So I think today it's how to spend holidays with your family.
That's an important
which
topic
seems
to
topical.
Yeah.
Given Thanksgiving is coming up. And speaking of them following right on our heels, thank you everyone for coming to the stream and asking your questions and submitting your coloring sheets that we get to show off on stream. It's really cool. Thank you to everyone who's already donated to our friends at Desert Bus. It's a very good cause, helping the children. Thank you, Martin, for being on the C&E Games chat, moderating chat, grabbing your questions, and running the raffles. And I've been Erika. Kat's been inking away on the Sochiel coloring sheet.
Yeah, maybe took my time a little too much, but everybody kept saying how pretty it was.
Yeah. And that's been our show for Tuesday, November 9th. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.